Mike, how am I sounding?
You sound real good.
Thanks, Mike.
Da-da-da-da, here he comes.
Well, here we are, hotboxing. Huh, Mike?
Absolutely.
Hell yeah, brother. We got the Garbrandt boys in the house.
Right.
Cody and Zach.
Zachary.
What's up, guys?
The sweet life.
Cody, obviously, a tremendous UFC fighter. Also, we're going to get into your book, The Pact, a little bit.
All right.
Talk about your relationship with Maddux Maple. And Zach, you're out there in West Virginia, dude, running the show. We're going to hop into that a little bit. Talk about that.
Next great Tyson endeavor.
Hell yeah, dude. That'll be huge to have that hemp
Yeah,
grow.
tell me about it.
Well, let's start there, Zach. Tell us about, so in West Virginia, we've got a huge hemp grow operation that's going to give us access and supply of a ton of really high quality CBD. Tell us a little bit about what's going on out there.
Yeah, we took over a 350,000 square foot.
Lean into the mic a little bit, brother.
350,000 square foot greenhouse. We plan to have all the farmers in West Virginia growing clones for us, buying the biomass back off them. We have the first extraction equipment in the state, looking to do probably 1,800 pounds a day of biomass extracted.
Give us a howl.
Give
us Ow! There we go. That's what I like to hear.
I got to take it off the mic so I don't blow your guys' eardrums out.
Yeah, man. So a lot of things going on there.
That's awesome. And so we're working with West Virginia University.
Mm-hmm.
We are working with some leading legislators there, some politicians.
Yes.
To just lay the right groundwork for that operation.
Correct.
That's awesome, man. It's great to see you. Great to have you back in town. Where'd you guys go to dinner?
Mastro's.
Oh.
Yeah, Mike didn't stay for dessert. He left. Mike,
Man,
we had a
dessert
big
was
dessert,
great.
bro.
That's
I
scared
know.
me.
I thought you were staying. The next thing you know, the dessert. He's like, yeah. He had a second guess and he got out of there, left all this dessert, and I'm like, shit.
What happened, Mike? You got scared in there?
Got scared, man. I get those extra calories off.
Oh yeah, yeah.
We got the cheesecake. We got this pumpkin. Crazy stuff.
Ooh.
Yeah, it was good. Definitely went off my diet.
Hey man, sometimes you gotta have that cheat meal.
Yeah, you have to. You know, I
cheat
saw
day.
you pumping out push-ups when I got here. And I was like, man, I started my morning all wrong. I need to start doing something in the morning.
Hey man, that's my morning routine. Yoga, meditation. We were talking about that earlier. I hit about 20 to 30 minutes of yoga, and then if I'm not gonna get a lift in, I make sure to hit about 1 to 200 push-ups.
Nice.
And then I'm doing these crazy breathing exercises the whole time. So people might see me and they're like, what's going on with you, man? But I'm like,
yeah.
And I'm just getting oxygenated. You can get high off your own breath. It's pretty dope.
Yep.
Activate your endocannabinoid system.
Watch the Wim Hof. Is that who you
Exactly.
learned off of?
Wim Hof is the man. Yeah, I learned that from him.
Yeah, that's awesome. I'm with the Honor Academy, so
it's just easier to hit a joint.
Yeah, exactly.
I start suffocating. I can't.
they really think
Start
something's wrong with Mike.
hyperventilating?
Yeah.
I've done it a couple times, hyperventilating with your breath, but definitely know with fighting, football, training, breathing, you have to have a good system.
So Cody, we're going to talk about your book because I think it's a pretty amazing story. But something I read about you, I didn't know. You were an all-state linebacker in high school.
Yeah. It was
Hell
crazy.
yeah, brother.
I was actually played football with my brother. He was always bigger and faster and stronger than me. I was so smart. I didn't have the pants didn't even fit when I played in first grade. The helmet was like a bobblehead. I was like a little giant.
Oh my God.
And so that's all I always wanted to play. Zach was good football player, bigger than me, so he was a fullback. And so I went out for football. I was boxing, and I was like, I'm going to go out. It was his senior year, my junior year. Went out for football. Didn't play. I took like freshman, sophomore off. And I was like, I'm going to play our last year together, and played. And I was outside linebacker at like 140 pounds. And I would just come out, they'd blitz me off that edge, and I would
fly
smack
off the
people.
edge.
Oh, yeah, I leave my, torpedo them, come out with stingers all the time,
Yeah.
But I had a blast, I ended up, becoming All-Ohio, and it was great, you know. And then obviously I was running back for him. It's easy when Zach just blows through a hole and I make a quick cut and I'm off to the races. But it was great.
Zach was fullback.
He was fullback, man. I remember one.
Hell yeah, bro! I could see that.
I would grab onto his jersey and just let him just go through the hole, and I would make a cut and be off to the races. But
I'd love to see that.
Yeah, we have some probably highlights I'll put up on YouTube or on my page. But this one game, I literally scored 5 touchdowns, and I remember this one touchdown that Zach blocked for me, and I scored. You know, it was a long run. He made the hole, and I didn't chest bump him first. And he grabbed me by the face mask. He's like, "Come here, you little prick." He's like, "You chest bumped me first. I'm the one blocking for your ass." And I was like, "What?" I was like, "F you, man." Like,
damn.
Yeah, I'm all the way down at the end zone. Zach was just hog jogging. You know, like, I'm supposed to wait for you to get all the way down the field to celebrate. I'm pumped. I'm letting my house out. You know.
What the fuck, Zach?
Hey, man.
So our quarterback tried to like break us up. Then we ended up getting a flag against each other.
Oh my god.
On the play. Yeah.
That's some insane brother shit right there. What did you guys fight a lot growing up?
Oh, all the time.
All the time, yeah.
Yeah.
Our last fight was I was 17, I remember, because I had a toughest fight with him, and he gave me my left cauliflower ear. Yeah, my left ear. He hit me so hard my ear sweat with cauliflower.
Damn, Zach.
Yeah.
What's the matter with you, man?
But
Real bad guy.
yeah, so we were out there, fighting for a while. We drove on a dirt road called the Pump House, and it's in the book. You know, it was I remember it's our last fight, and we'd always take out of towners there. You know, kind of country, small town shit. Like, the cops don't see you fighting in the street. You go out to the Pump House where, people are usually doing back roads, burning joints, or anything like that.
Wow.
So it's some real country shit. And so we go back there and we're fighting. We're getting out there, and we had rules like no takedowns, like just stand up, knock them out and knock them down.
Was this to settle something, or this was just
he ate my Subway sandwich.
Oh my god!
Ate half of it. I had to box the next day, and so I was cutting weight, and I was making sure. I was like, all right, I know I ate this half of the sub. That's what I can eat after my workout, and I'll be good till my weigh-ins. And he ate it, and I told my grandma, I was like, "Grandma, don't let anyone eat it." And I see Zach with the wrapper, and he's like rubbing his stomach. He's like, "This shit was good." So I started fighting like in our grandma's kitchen, and she was like trying to break it up. She's a short old sweet lady, like I didn't want something to happen. So I ended up stopping, and Zach like reached over my grandma and power bombed me on my neck. I thought I crushed my skull. Literally bit my tongue off. So I was like, screw this, we're going out to the Pump House. And I go outside, start kicking his truck doors in. He jumps in his truck, I jump in my truck, we drive. I already knew where he was going. He took the left at the stoplight, and it's like, shit, I'm about to fight this fool at the Pump House. I'm like, So I was always good. I was always faster with him. I bobbed and weaved, and that's the only time I really hurt Zach in my entire life.
Really?
I remember I hit him with this overhand right, and it kind of gave him the stanky leg. And he looked at me, and he goes, "Good hit, you little fucker." And I was like, "Oh shit." He kept coming, and after that fight, we're like, dude, we're gonna kill each other. We gotta calm it down. And that was the last time I fought.
Crazy.
Yeah, last time we fought. 17 years old.
Zach is crazy.
Yeah, Zach's crazy.
Did you feel like you settled it?
Yeah, because it was like that was our fight to where it was like, damn, we both got each other. And it was a long fight. We were there forever. I remember our Pee Wee football coach drove by, and he was burning a joint. And he saw us at the festival the next week, and he's like, boys, he came up to us. He's real emotional. He's like, boys, he goes, I cried when I saw you guys fight. And he goes, that was the best damn fight I've ever watched. It's crazy. So, it definitely settled that, and we kind of put into our minds like, dude, we're gonna hurt each other. I mean, I got cauliflower from it.
Yeah.
And I had to fight the next day at a boxing match.
You had a real fight.
I had a real fight the next day, and
Oh
didn't let me because my knuckles were all cut up, and I was like, I told him I was working on the farm. I was working on the thing I got it.
Yeah.
Some with a tractor or something got cut up, baling hay, or told him some excuse. I'm like, this country kid up here in Cleveland, Ohio, fighting. Okay, we'll let him go.
Dude.
Yeah.
How'd you do in that fight?
It won. It was one.
Hell
That
yeah.
was one of my toughest fights too. Like I think
the fight before with Zach.
that's the time that I got hit probably the hardest. This kid hit me with the stand-up left hook, and I went deaf.
Wow.
I remember I went deaf, and I was like, I was good, everything was fine. I just couldn't hear. The crowd was like, you get hit
that's
sometimes.
crazy,
That ever happen,
dude. That ever happened to you,
It
Mike?
rings your bell.
Rings your
Yeah.
bell. He rung my bell for a whole round, and I come back and sit in the corner, and I'm like, oh man, my uncle's yelling out all these stuff. And I was like, I can't hear. Like, I'm telling him, I can't hear, and he's like, huh? He says, I'm like, what? I was like, I can't hear, man, dude. I was like, the dude hit me so hard, I can't hear. And he's like, okay. And he was like, okay, trying to just like control my breathing. I was like, I'm good.
Wow.
And I was like, went out to the third round, and finally, like, as soon as I got up and the round started, my hearing came back, and I was like, oh shit! I thought I was deaf for a good while. The whole round
dude.
I was deaf.
Crazy.
His bell was rung that bad. And I won the fight, and it was a fight of the night. So,
Hell
but
yeah.
I think that fight was a lot harder because I had to fight Zach the day before. You know.
Yeah, no doubt.
I was just beat up, dude. Yeah, I was beat up.
What are you doing? Zach, was that the fight? I saw an interview with you where you're talking about one of your guys' fights. Was that the fight where you were like, this kid, I've got a lot of respect for this kid now? I mean, obviously you had worked something out in that fight.
With him, yeah, man. That's the first time he had some power, and I was like, oh man.
Oh, shit.
I didn't expect it. He was so fast. Because he hit me like a three shot, and that when it landed, it kind of caught me off guard. I was like, "Oh, my knee wobbled," and I was looking at him like, "Oh, no way!" And he kind of hesitated. I think it shocked him too.
Right.
So he didn't hit me because if he had got one more off, he wasn't gonna knock me out, but I was gonna have to fall over. You know what I mean? I was gonna have to trip or fall down. I was like, I needed a second.
Count.
Yeah, I needed 8 count.
I was going for the kill. I was going for the kill. I was like, I saw him hurt. And I was like, oh shit, this is my shot. This is my chance right here to get him.
Dang,
my whole entire life fighting him, he's always bigger. Like, man, there's some times
Eat
that he
that,
fucked
eat
me
that
up.
sandwich.
Yeah, he'll never eat my sandwich again.
Son
I
of
know
a
that.
bitch. Ain't going to eat my sandwich.
Never.
So last week, Mike and I talked about this after Mike got back from India, and he had a chance to go and visit these slums, and he said that, you know, the best fighters in the world come out of the slums. I came out of the slums. Mike obviously grew up in one of the toughest parts of Brooklyn. You guys grew up in a really tough part of Ohio. Talk a little bit about the adversity you saw as a kid, Cody, and, you know, how that really molded you into the fighter that you are. Not even beyond just the physical fighter, you know, and having this dream of being in the UFC, but your mindset as a person, because you've got a lot of wisdom in you, and you're not, you know, you're a young guy.
I think that's a contribute to my mother and the practices that she taught us, and her putting us in sports at a young age, knowing that was a kind of a way out. You know, that's something that I think that she saw with her brother too. Like, he was good at sports, but he couldn't stay out of the trouble. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
I think that she just instilled that discipline and that hard work and that dedication to, you know, show up to practice. You know, while the kids are out playing, you're going to wrestling camps, and she would. I think that we valued our time with our mom so much that we realized at a young age that it was more than just our dreams. You know, it was hers and it was us together. So spending that time, her packed up in the vans, driving across the country to wrestling matches, national tournaments, wrestling camps, you know, and just seeing that was, you know, a product of our environment is in a positive light, you know, because obviously we talk about the negative and the upbringings that we didn't have, you know, but we did have some positive there. And I think that's what truly separated us from being another statistic or staying put in that town, not reaching our full potential as humans. That was our mother and her drive and her dedication to make us, you know, to our full ability as humans.
I love that, man.
Mm-hmm. Mom's great.
Yeah, mom's a savage.
Yeah. She also kick your ass.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I believe it.
Yeah,
that's cool.
Fear.
Fear.
That's what she used to say. I brought you in this world, I'll take you out.
Yeah.
Damn, brother.
I remember
meant it.
choking Zach out one time.
Mama Garbrandt.
Choking him out, like, I brought you in this, like, whispering, I brought you in this world, and I can take you out, and, like, just let his body go, and, like, he trying to come back to, and I was sitting at the dinner table and see her, and I was like, oh shit, I don't know, we were probably not teenagers, maybe younger, and he like bad talked her, you know. I mean, you never do that. I was like, oh man, I'm like, oh, I'm just waiting for it. I'm waiting for the raft, you know, to come down. You know, we never stepped out of line, and I'm forever grateful for the teachings that she gave to us, because she had to be the mother and the father. You know, our father wasn't there, and you know, we were adopted by her ex-husband now, but you know, so our father figure wasn't there, so she had to give us that tough love rule. And like, my consequences of getting in trouble was, you know, not of, you know, the police actions or the school actions suspending. It was what my mom was gonna do. That was, she's above every law. You know what I mean? Like she said, she brought you in this world, she can take you out, and she meant that shit.
That's amazing, man.
Yeah.
I mean, that's some amazing way to set a kid straight.
Did your mom ever beat your ass?
Oh my God. My mom, you know, my parents got divorced when I was really little. I was 7. And by the time I was probably 8 or 9, I was already bigger than my mom. My mom's like 5'2". and she used to just fucking beat my ass with a wiffle ball bat, dude. That was it, you know, and she disciplined the shit out of us. I got the, you know, bar of soap in the mouth for cursing.
Oh, that's nasty.
Yeah.
I never got that.
That was brutal. You know, the wiffle ball bat. It was the same, you know. It was like
Ever get the orange racing tracks?
Oh, the whips.
Yeah.
Oh,
my God.
Racing tracks.
yeah. What are you talking about? Damn. Ooh.
Man, I remember one time I tried to play hooky from school. And this I always wanted to go to school after this. I think that's why I get up on time and I'm like prominent on that. My mom, you know, said you better be in the van when I'm ready to take off. And I heard her. I was like, oh, she's not gonna make the other kids, you know, late. At the time, I didn't know, but I understand now. She had all these kids that get to school on time. It was you know, get them ready to get them fed. Like it was a lot, you know. And I'm sitting here, you know, being a prick about not going, trying to fight her not going to school. I didn't want to go to school that day, and I hear the door shut, and then the next thing you know, I hear the horn honk. I'm like, oh, she's gonna take off. And I'm still eating my bowl of cereal, and just like, I'm gonna have a half day. I'll go a half day at lunch. And she comes in that door, and I was just froze. I didn't know what to do. Like
It might
I was
as well
like,
have been
I mean, do I
Godzilla.
eat the cereal because I'm gonna choke on it? She's gonna come after me. Like, what the fuck do I do? Like, do I run and make it worse because she's gonna end up gonna get me one way? I just sat there, and she came around that turn, kicked me up by my throat, slammed me down, opened my mouth, spit a loogie in my mouth, and said, "Your ass walks to school, and you better be there." And I was like,
holy shit.
and I was like, "Oh shit!" Like,
Damn,
I remember walking
bro.
around school. Hey, I remember walking around school that morning after I walked to school. I was like, if someone even looks at me wrong, I'm fucking them up. Like they're getting it. They're getting this raft. And like, luckily I didn't get into any shit. My mom came and picked me up at lunch, took me to Dairy Queen. You know, so it's like that tough love. Like,
Wow.
you know what I mean? Like, she had to do that to us because we were hellions, man. We were crazy.
That's cringeworthy, isn't it?
That's
Yeah.
fucking
It
intense.
still makes me sick. I heard this story 1,000 times.
Yeah.
That's really.
Oh yeah, I'll
that's-
tell you what. I was made sure. Was I ever late
Yeah,
for school? After that, never.
I
was
bet
up,
you
I was
weren't.
a morning person. I was ready to go. Mom, okay, I got you. I'll defrost the car for you.
shit.
Mom didn't fuck around.
She did not.
Oh, dude.
Dude,
Yeah.
you remember the time
Holy
she tried to hit
shit.
me with the car?
Oh yeah.
She was mad I wrecked the lawnmower, which I did. I did hit this like dog chain that was buried, wrapped it up. And I called her. I'm like, hey, listen to the new mower. I messed it up. Sorry. And I hear her just scream on the phone. I'm like, oh man. So I'm out there trying to get this dog chain off this. I'm trying to lift this riding lawnmower up and get this dog chain at the same time, all before she gets here. Well, it doesn't happen. And I see her. I can hear her coming down the road. I'm like, oh shoot, man. So I'm like, in between the garage and the house was the mower and me standing there. And I hear her come around the turn, tires squealing, and she doesn't even she's like still flying coming in the driveway. And I'm like, oh shit. Well, she blew right through the driveway. It was coming right at me. I dive out of the way and she hit the brakes and the car slides past where I was standing. And I get up and she's laughing her ass off. And Cody's in there like, you know, he's like, oh my God. And she's hysterically laughing. And I'm over there like, man, you were definitely going to hit me. And she's like, I wouldn't have. I'm like, you slid past where I was at. If I didn't jump, she's like, I knew you would. I'm like, what if I didn't?
Yeah. It was good, but like you said, you know,
Yeah.
product and environment. I think that's why we had that hard work and dedication because she always set us out. She always said, you know, have fun with it. Make sure you love to do it. You know, if you start something, you're going to finish. You're not going to quit. A lot of the kids would quit mid-season or
For sure.
because they didn't start, and then their
Yeah.
parents would come in
Yeah.
and complain. And it's like, why is this kid quarterback? He
Yeah.
sucks. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? Like
Yeah.
our mom would just let us work for the position. Just
love
like
it.
you know, I love
Right.
that too.
A lot
I
of
think that's
great
why
lessons.
we excelled at wrestling so much because it's such an individual sport.
Yeah,
As far as you know, football is to an
Yeah.
extent.
for sure.
But the wrestling was it was always on you. Win or lose, it was on you. You know what
Yeah.
I mean? And I think that's what we loved wrestling so much. And
yeah,
having
that
that
makes a lot of
dedication.
sense
She always
to me.
made us go to the practice. So I think that going back to that, like, you know, all the crazy stories out there. Mama, we love you. We were successful because
Oh,
of
hell
you.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
so,
for sure.
Yeah, we appreciate you're appreciated, Tupac voice.
How's she doing?
She's
these
great.
days?
She's
Awesome.
great. Yeah, she's. We
Still
just got to go
living in
see her in
Ohio?
August. Yep, in Ohio. Just got her and her husband, my stepdad's amazing person. They got a farm out there, and so their mom's doing the farm life and got a lot
Love
of
that.
animals. My little sister is an animal lover. I mean, everything. I mean, she could have Ronald McDonald Farm. She would. You know, that's and
Sweet.
My mom loves it. So
Horses?
Yeah, doing great. Horses.
Yep,
Yeah,
yep.
horses.
Cows?
No cows. They have hogs, pigs, goats, bunnies,
Oh,
chickens.
I love goats.
Organic chickens.
Yeah.
We went to this the pumpkin patch with my daughter a couple days ago, and they've got a petting zoo there. They've got the little goats. I just fall in love with them. I'm ready to fucking take one home, dude.
The little
They're
pygmy goats.
brutal. The little
Yeah.
pygmy goats. They're
Yeah.
crazy. Kick each other down and shit. Like bounce off each other. It's crazy.
They're pretty
Yeah,
tough.
it's good stuff.
Well, before we get to Maddux Maple, I got to say, you two guys have some of the best fucking tattoos I've ever seen.
Yeah,
Man, you got some good
Right?
ones
I
too,
gotta
man.
agree. Yeah.
Yeah.
You guys have some unbelievable artwork. Is it the same tattoo artist?
For the most part, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, we've been getting tattooed. I think my first tattoo was 13. He was 14.
Oh, my
we
God.
bribed our mom
Yeah.
into it. We like just. you know,
How'd your mom feel about the tats?
I mean, she took us. You know.
Oh, she
we
took
told her.
you.
We
She
told her
did.
we had
She had to.
we said if we won a state title or a national title, we could go get tattooed. And like for a whole year, we were bringing out from the library print off tattoos. Like, oh, what about this one, Mom? Like, I'm gonna get that title. We worked our ass off for it. We're gonna get that tattoo. So she's like, oh, and then we ended up, going and ended up becoming national champions both that year, and getting tattoos.
What was your first tattoo?
My first tattoo is still on my back. It's not even finished. I'm actually starting my back piece soon, but I got a cross with a ribbon tied around it. And,
Cool.
so that was my first one.
That's a solid first one.
Yeah. What about you, Mike? What was your first one?
A little one right here didn't fit Mike, but they covered it.
Covered up? Nice. That's the old
80,
school
that was
one.
in the 80s.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember Bob had that. Bob had Bob on his arm.
70s, yeah.
What about you, Zach?
I got a cross on my thigh.
Okay,
Said,
that was your first?
First one, yeah.
Said only God can judge me.
Yeah, he was in the chair like this. And, I made him go first. He's like, I guess I was like, oh shit, man, that's my big
Yeah, I
bro.
remember that
He
one.
don't, he
It
don't
did
feel
hurt.
pain. This shit's about to hurt. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
I'm holding on to the chair. I broke out in hives my first time getting
Did
a
you
tattoo.
really?
Yeah, covering. I never had hives in my life. I didn't know what was wrong.
Damn, dude.
It was crazy.
It
Now
hurt
look at
that
me.
bad? I have one on my back,
My
too.
nerves can't. I don't know. Like now I do get
Interesting.
tattooed. My glands swell up. My body like
Every
rejects-
time?
Every time, dude. Like if I get tattooed, even no matter where I at in my body, my glands and my hips, my armpits swell up. It's crazy.
Really?
My nerves. I don't know if my nervous system can't handle it.
Interesting. That's
Sucks,
interesting.
man.
Mike, you probably have the most famous tattoo though.
For sure.
Most recognizable tattoo in the world,
Really
probably.
think
Have
so.
to.
Oh,
No
yeah.
doubt.
No doubt.
Yeah,
about
I
it.
have it on sometimes because you can't feel
See it right?
Yeah.
I can't see it.
Well, it's part of your persona now.
Yeah.
It's just who you are, man.
Yeah.
I don't think people really realize it either. My first
Dope.
tat is this dream catcher.
Nice.
Got it when I was 18. That was number one for me.
I feel like Eben's arms are our back piece.
Yeah.
he's like his arms got so he can put so much on there.
Yeah, as I'm saying, like
I want to get some more. I want to get this arm sleeved
Nice.
up. I got to finish this a little bit. The shaman needs a little shading. It's conjuring the white buffalo.
We got to get tattooed on the podcast, man. We
Yeah,
gotta get a guy
fuck
in here
yeah.
while we're doing it. We got to get tattooed.
Get
Call
that
your
too.
guy up.
Get that two in here.
Yeah,
that's
there
what
we
we
go.
should do.
Yeah, dude.
Have it all. You're one-stop shop here at the Tyson Ranch. You got the podcast, the tat shop. You got the barber shop.
Get a
Getting the
workout
haircut,
in,
workouts, push-up stations out back.
Hell yeah, dude.
What about some hand tats, Ed?
I might be down for some hand
Yeah.
tats. Yeah, I
That
could.
hurts. I know that's gonna hurt.
Yeah, the
Oh yeah,
hand,
those swell up.
that's a tough spot.
My stomach was my worst by far.
Really?
Was your face the worst?
Yeah, I know my stomach.
Stomach too. Yeah, my stomach was the worst.
Mm,
Man, I was like, shoot, that was the worst one.
that's tough.
Yep.
All right, so the Pact.
Pact.
You met a kid named Maddux Maple. Tell us, how'd you come to meet this guy?
Actually, it was through Zach, my brother. I was living out in Cleveland, training at a gym up there, getting ready for. I was just an amateur fighter, trying to find my way to the pro ranks and become a world champion. So I was moving, out of my city and trying to go and further myself and better myself. So I kind of stayed out of the small town talk, but obviously staying with Zach. Zach was working in a coal mine in the area, so he was still around the small town talk. Knew everything that was going on, would keep me informed. Like, oh man, Johnny, dude, he's back in jail, or whatever.
yeah,
so
for
he called
sure.
me up, we talking, and he said, hey man, you should hear about the Maddox family, the Maple family. And I was like, no, I didn't. And he explained it to me. It was the family, this 5-year-old was diagnosed with leukemia. Just like, it hit me just right in the feel goods because I have a sister the same age as Maddox, and it kind of just, just for whatever one has just first spoke about it, kind of just hit me right there without even knowing the family, knowing the child. And he said you should do like a benefit with your next fight. You should donate the tickets and sell shirts and get the town, kind of to back his fight. And then met the family after 2 weeks. He came back. He was able to have visitors after his first dose of chemo, and he was cleared to get home and just start the process of fighting this horrible disease. And so I come there and I see this little kid. I mean, he looks, just his whole world was 360, spun around and, was going in for a bursted appendix, he thought.
Wow.
Next thing you know, he's got a trach and a port in his chest and he's getting his first dose of chemo.
Jesus, dude.
So, yeah, and I look at the kid and I'm just like, man, this kid, he had, big, beautiful eyes. I mean, but I just tell he had that look. You can tell when you look at Mike when he fights, when you look at these other fighters that are great, when you see that look before battle, they have that glossed over look, like determination, that focus. And I saw that in him. I was like, man, I just knew that. And I said it to the parents after I got to know him, like I know this kid's gonna beat this disease. I can just tell he's a warrior. I can just I can just feel that. And meeting him that time and getting to stay with him, learned a story. We did the benefit, donations to his family, and just stayed in touch with the guy, like reaching out to them. He would come to all my fights. His goal was to walk me out to one of my fights. That's what he wanted to do, but he was never healthy enough. The chemo kept hurting his legs. He was in a wheelchair, things like that. So finally, my third professional fight. Third professional fight. This is 3.5 years, knowing the kid. We've done the amateur career. I started my pro career. I moved out. This is when I moved out to California. He ended up walking me down my third professional fight, and he was coming at all my fights. So I started as an amateur with him, and then took him to all my pro fights. His family started coming, and it was nice. It was a great bond, and then we had a sponsor. Ironically, I got kicked out of this guy's club when I was a teenager for beating up his bouncer, and he kicked me out. And but he was super cool. I remember him writing on my I had a fan page Facebook. When I was starting my career, follow me on my fan page.
Hell yeah, dude.
And he messaged me on there and said, hey, the cops came. I told him I destroyed the videos of what happened. He's like, I heard, he knew from my, being a good athlete in the area, having the name. Me and Zach won state titles, so it's kind of small town. Everyone knows things. He's like, I don't want you to get in trouble. I just, want you to do well. So I was kind of started getting into a wake up call, ended up getting stabbed at a bar. I was just doing some wrong things,
Christ.
And I kind of had glimpses of promise of good fights. I'm like, oh, this kid's got it. He's gonna do it.
Right.
It would fall back into that system, that negativity of that. I think that's that self doubt that your mind plays inside yourself. You kind of sometimes that inner voice that wants to hold you back. Yeah. And it kind of would slip back. Am I good enough? Can I? I had because my surrounding people, I was surrounded with. Yeah. They were always constantly, can you make this in fighting? Why don't you go to college? I left college twice. I'm sitting there and feel like I'm a failure because I withdrew from college twice, and was listening to everyone else tell me go get a degree and do this fighting. You're not gonna amount to nothing with this. And until I finally fulfilled my self purpose and followed my dreams, everything started lining up like this with Maddox. Never thinking reaching out to his family and doing that we'd sit here speaking with you, Eben, and Mike, and my brother, and talking about a book that we did together. Yeah. So moving forward from that, I started doing that. Everything started lining in my life. My career started taking off. I started doing really well. So meeting him, and it was a 5-year battle, 5.5 years. We've known Maddox. And through his ups and downs and his days that he wanted to give up, I leaned on him with my training and fighting, trying to make it to the UFC, because millions of kids and people, fighters across the world are trying. That's what they want to do, is become the UFC champion. And that was my goal. And Maddox's goal was just to walk me down to the octagon. That was his sole goal. I feel like he fought for that. So he kept fighting for it. I can't wait to walk you down. You
guys were accountable to each other.
Yeah, I remember getting signed to the UFC. Yeah, and bringing him there and seeing him there.
Wow.
Yeah, and then the UFC caught wind of our story and granted him to walk down to the octagon when I fought for my first world title. And I was hand in hand with him, and I just felt invincible that time. I was nothing can stop this. This is meant to be. This is my night. I had the most flawless performance. I was in the flow state, and just everything was lining up in my life. And so it was a great night. Not only because I won, but just because everyone was so happy, and we finally got to put the belt around his waist. And then next, we're, you know, after that, a lot of stuff happens, you know, fast paced after winning a world title, and we got approached about doing a book. And I was like, I had a lot to, a book and a movie, and I kind of put on a halt for quite some time. I just wanted to focus on my career. I was just so dead set on fighting, wanting to do that. But then, you know, with meeting with Rob and understanding kind of the entertainment, and you know, I was just a kid that would just shot to superstardom after winning a world championship. You know, it was all new to me. So I wanted to slow it down, and I'm glad Rob came in and, you know, started talking about the book and doing that, and led me to the right people. And it's been a great experience having, you know, Maddox's story. I told Rob about that. And he said, "This is a book, it's a movie." And
dude, I'm just trying not to burst into tears.
I'm still like blown away. It's kind of surprising to me, or kind of shocked about it, because I never thought that it was going to be something this big. I thought, you know, I mean, like, I look at Maddox.
You were just doing something.
Yeah, just
that
like
felt right.
Never
felt guided by spirit.
When I got offered about a book and the movie, I'm like, wow, this is crazy. And then the reason why I want to do it and push forward, because I feel like his fight matters. His story needs to be shared. You know, to how many people are affected by this horrible disease, that family members, they've lost family members, or mothers, or brothers, or sons, or daughters through this disease. That this is a kid that, you know, was just 5 years old, you know, can go through any of that. Yeah. With the power of believing in himself and having a purpose, you know, focusing on something. Like myself, like my light at the end of the tunnel was being a world champion. That's what kept me, you know, from that, you know, getting hooked on drugs, from going down the wrong path, from just being a fuck up, was that being a world champion. Our you know, our worlds collide. Our, you know, crash course kind of like a pivotal time with me getting in a lot of bar fights and stabbed and all this stuff, and him, you know, going through chemo, you know, find out he had cancer. We kind of met at that time with our low points, and kind of just raised up all the way to the top, became the best in the world, you know, world champions. And, you know, couldn't do without that kid. You know,
that's amazing, man.
Yeah, it's awesome. So
incredible.
How's he doing now?
He's great. He's 11 years old.
Amazing.
4 years in remission.
Yeah.
So it's his last year. You know, August 22nd will be his 5th year remission. So I'm hoping, you know, to surprise him with a huge, like, you know, just I want to make it something just special for that little kid. You know,
that's so awesome, dude.
Yeah. So I'm excited for this one. This is the year.
That's a good movie.
This is the year for it. So. You know, he's been to all my celebrations and my winnings. You know, this is his
for sure
actual world title championship. This is his fight. You know, he just conquered life at such an early age, and did it with such a demeanor, you know, and a dedication that inspired me to not give up my dreams. I'm like, man, I'm hurting, so I choose to fight. This kid has to wake up every day and fight for his life, and I think that's what, you know, made me at a time that I could probably, you know, got discouraged or had that, you know, when it comes in and pushes doubt in your mind, you know, would have just fell down and stayed down. But he helped me get up, and forever grateful for him. And here we are having a book, hopefully a movie, and, you know, his 5th year remission next year. I'm super excited. Great things, man. Great things.
That's amazing, dude. What an amazing story, you guys going on that journey together.
Yeah, I think that's why everyone in the company has a vested interest in, you know, what we do as far as stories like that. You know, we all know someone with cancer, or someone that lost someone like that, or a touching story.
Right? Yeah.
I think now, you know, we're in the prime spot to be the #1 providers of taking care of that.
Yeah, Tyson Ranch, you know, doing great things.